Hey there. So this is my old, I guess, motherboard and CPU that I was using for gaming and such. Let's see if you can kind of see this. This was what I usually call my gaming machine, the Apollo rig. Um, this machine is an Intel 12900K. It had this Gigabyte Z690 Aorus Master. The motherboard was great, pretty stable system. 32 gigs of G.Skill Trident Z5 DDR5 memory. It's right there. Um, and then I had a couple of Western Digital Black 1 terabyte drives. These are the SN850 drives. Really speedy, a lot of fun. So I guess rest in peace. And let me show you the new, or at least some of the bare bones, I guess, for the new system that I plan on building. Okay, so this is the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D. This is the Raphael AM5 Zen 4 TSMC 5 nanometer chip. 8 CPU cores, 16 threads. This one is pretty speedy and pretty famous for that 3D cache. This has 512 kilobytes of L1 and 8 megabytes of L2, and then it goes to a 96 megabytes of the L3 cache. So that L3 cache is big. TDP of 120 watts. This is supposed to run up to about 89, maybe 90 degrees Celsius. PCIe 5.0 has about 28 lanes with 24 that are supposed to be usable. So what's going to be nifty is being able to try maybe the PCIe 5 with this one. DDR5, I can put up to 128 gigs max with this CPU, and there actually this CPU has a GPU within it, or graphics cores, and it has 2 graphics cores, and they run at 2200 megahertz, so be worth trying. I think the Intel 12900K had onboard video as well, but I do plan on putting a beefier video card. We'll have to see if the 5090s come out or the 5000 series come out, and I can actually get one of those to try the PCIe 4 or PCIe 5 on this. But I think what I'm gonna probably end up doing is I have 2, maybe a few actually, 3 different cards I want to try just for fun to see how they work with the CPU. I have a 4090, or at least I have a few 4090s. I have a 7900 XTX. I have a Diablo, and then I have another power color. I think I have a 7800 XTX that I want to try as well. So this is the CPU. Okay, so this is the motherboard. It's the Gigabyte Aorus X670E or X Pro X motherboard. Has the let's see here, antenna. I think these are for thermal detection. This is for audio detection. You've got the fancy G connector, and then you've got a badging right there. Here's the motherboard. I'll take that out and show you a little bit more of the details. Got manuals and SATA drives there. That's kind of all that comes in the box. Let me pull this out and maybe talk through some of the details of why I like this motherboard. Alright, so this is the back of the box, in case you want to have a close-up of that. There's the back. And here is the motherboard. The reason why I got this motherboard is it has this clean look, and it's white. I've been doing a lot of white builds recently. A lot of manufacturers are kind of doing this, where even the PCB itself has this kind of gray, or this a little bit of a gray, but kind of a white build. So it's kind of neat that they're doing things like this, where the PCB is just not just simple plain black or green like you normally see. So the other reason why I got this motherboard is because it has an AMD AM5 socket that supports 7,000, 8,000, and 9,000 CPUs. I have a feeling at some point I might actually pick up the 9800 X3D. So if I can find myself one of those, I might actually do an upgrade. But I'm going to start with the 7800 X3D. So let's see here, there's two 8-pin power connectors for the CPU. This has a 16 by 2 by 2 VRM setup, and it has all of these heat sinks around there. So 16 going to the cores, 2 of them going to the internal video cores, right, of the CPU, and then 2 VRMs that are dedicated for various I/O type of things, like going to the SATA or the chipset and things of that nature. This has 4 slots right there of DDR5, dual channel. These also are, what they're advertising is many of the slots that they have on this motherboard are ultra durable, so you can kind of pull memory in and out and repetitively, and these things will hold up. These are dual channel kits. You put in there, and then you can get up to about 128 gigs with the CPU and this motherboard setup. Let's see, what else? You got PCIe 5 slots. Obviously the X16, the PCIe video card slot. Maybe the 5900 would be neat to have if it was actually going to go up to 5X. The other thing is they have these quick release type of feature here, to where you kind of just pull this off and slide it on and slide it off. Same one over here, got this quick release. What's neat here is you can see that they labeled the M.2 slots. There's 2 of them that are Gen 5. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. And then you have 2 PCIe 4 slots, just right there, right, 1 and 2 right there. My guess is, since you have, the CPU should be able to do 24 usable PCIe lanes, and obviously if you use 16 going to the GPU, and then each of these SSDs for the PCIe 5, you use another 8 there, that'll probably use up your 24. So if you use these other lanes down there, guess is that it probably goes through the chipset and probably doesn't go directly to the CPU. What else is about this? There are, I guess, these high-grade capacitors. These are the, I guess, the yellow ones. These are for audiophiles, and I guess the quality of the audio gets filtered very well through those capacitors. The power. See, this also has, I guess, these 4 SATA ports right here on the side. And let me flip this thing over, and then maybe also talk through the I/O ports. Before I get to the I/O ports, give you a shot of the back here. it looks like this gray PCB is in the back, and it looks pretty slick. I kind of like the that they show off the PCB. A lot of times you're doing some sort of a full plate in the back, and it kind of you never see it. So I think that's pretty neat that they ended up doing some sort of a printing on the back to kind of give you this logoing and branding that they do. Yeah, tee 'em up, fight on. Let's see here. You got this. This is for the PCIe, for the video card. If you were to put that there, so that way it doesn't kind of warp the motherboard. It's pretty neat. All right, so this is the I/O panel for the motherboard. Right there, you can see that's the Q flash. So that way you can flash the motherboard BIOS without having to have a CPU. Right there is the connection for the antenna for the Wi-Fi 7. And there's an HDMI port there, a bunch of USB, maybe USB 2, USB 3, 2, Gen 1, and then these red ones are USB 3.2 Gen 2, and then there's a USB-C port right there. That's supposed to be able to transfer up to 20 gigabits per second, and then you have just an Ethernet connection right there, and obviously all the sound ports. So that's the I/O panel for this motherboard. Pretty nifty. It comes with a lot of features. We'll have to see how this all works out. For memory, decided to go with these DDR5 Crucial memory kits. Each one is 32 gigs, and then 64 gigs in total. If I use all of these in the slots right there. Let's see, these are 6,000 mega transfers. From what I understand, that's kind of the sweet spot for the AM5 7800 CPU. Let's see here. These are they run at 1.35 volts. It's unbuffered, and then these have two expo profiles. One is for 6,000, and the other one's for 5,600 mega transfers. They have a CL of 36, so not the most speedy memory, but I think the memory is considered to be pretty stable. The other things that I wanted to, I guess, work through is which SSD I should use. I ended up picking up the T705 just because it's PCIe 5, and then I have obviously the leader of the PCIe 4 SSDs, the 990 Pro from Samsung. This is the 4 terabyte, and this is a 2 terabyte version. Yeah, let me pull these out of the packaging so I can show you them. I like these because they have a certain kind of a look and aesthetic. Again, white. I'm doing a kind of a white build. Same thing with this one. It has a certain heatsink, so wanted to do that and kind of show off that. The only thing is that heatsink is a little bit tall, so probably will not be using this heatsink that's there as part of the motherboard. Kind of a shame, but I have also a feeling like depending on how the video card is, I may end up having some sorts of troubles. So we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping to see how this works and hoping this will work out fine. All right, so here's the memory sticks out of their packaging. It has a pretty unique design to the heat spreader. So I kind of like these because they're minimalistic, no RGB or anything like that. Pop it out of the packaging. It's also just kind of pull back on the sides and pull this thing out. Now this is the interesting thing. What I like is kind of the design. You've got this pyramid type scheme for the heat spreader or the heatsink on this. So this is the T705 limited edition. I think the limited edition is that it comes in white like this. Also made by Crucial. So I like the look of that, and again, we'll have to see how that fits here, and if a graphics card will actually bump into it. Obviously, it can't go in this this slot down here. It's probably gonna have to go to this slot. Now, this motherboard actually has this heatsink, and the feeling is if it was made to be this tall, most likely this heatsink will probably be just fine. So we'll give that a try and see how that works. And then I might end up putting the Samsung underneath this right here, or the slot right there. There you go. Yeah, let me get to it.